I'm back home, and I have gotten all of my stuff done at work, so let's look at it. Alright, the main idea of this was birth control is more expensive for everybody, and erectile dysfunction medication is formulary, which is a lie. More often than not, it is not formulary, and more often than not, birth control is covered by a third party. Now, that being said, we're going to operate under the assumption that nobody in the world has insurance. And here's what I found. Keep in mind that my pharmacy is not a warehouse, and I don't have every kind of birth control, but I do have, 2 pages worth of it. So, there were a few expensive ones. The most expensive one, actually, was Ortho-Evra, which is $1,022.05 without insurance a month. So, needless to say, you're probably not going to get that. It's also kind of a specialty birth control. It's not one that you would normally be prescribed anyway. But on average, the cost of birth control in my state, Virginia, is anywhere between $30 a month to $50 a month. Again, there were some more expensive ones. The Ortho-Evra and Ortho-Tricycline Low is $93.46 a month. Yaz, this is a brand name, is $102. It's generic. Jambi is $70 even. Osella is $65, and those were the most expensive ones. The rest were $29.99 up to $43. So there was that. So just for fun, I also priced Cialis, Levitra, and Viagra, every strength that we had. And interestingly enough, there's one instance where an erectile dysfunction drug will be covered by insurance, and that is when it's Cialis and it's 5 milligrams. Because it's Cialis once a day, and it's $138.12 for 30 days of that without any insurance at all. Cialis 10 and 20 milligrams both at $30. Sorry, at 30 pills is $816.61. Levitra 5 milligrams and 10 milligrams are $778.34 for 30 pills a month. The 20 milligram is cheaper for some reason. It's $707.58. I assume it has something to do with the release time. Viagra is $808.21, both 50 and 100 milligrams, 30 tablets for 30 days. So just thought I would let you guys know that that's the reality. These drugs are very expensive, in their mechanism of action. While it does not solve as many health problems as birth control would. Erectile dysfunction is very specific, and the drugs that they use to treat it is obviously also very specific. And that's probably part of the reason why birth control is as inexpensive as it is, because there is a wide variety of ailments that it can treat. Acne, obviously the cramping from periods, pregnancy itself, as it was intended for originally. And interesting. Also, I went ahead and went through the bays and looked at all the drugs that we have, and I just to look to see who pays more. I was just curious. Without insurance, of course, there are, once again, many more drugs for females as there are men. So what I did was I just went through and priced each one of them for 30 days, as with the birth control and the erectile dysfunction medication. And I was interested to find, actually, that testosterone is very inexpensive The most expensive instance it is when it's in an injection intramuscularly, and that's only $46.36 if you're being dosed once every 2 weeks, which is normal. The gels are not as expensive as I had thought they would be. They're only $14. Now, when you get into more specific drugs, again, are more expensive. Finasteride, for example, is $92.64. It's for prostate inflammation. And Avodart is $150.57 for prostate inflammation. Another drug, tamsulosin, you may know as Flomax, is $99.91. And there's a drug that actually combines Avodart and tamsulosin to help urinary relief for men, which is $150.58 as well. So, not too bad at all, actually. And then I just went ahead and looked at all the female-related drugs that we have. Now, the most inexpensive one that there was estradiol, just plain old estradiol, which is $9.99 for 30 days. And the 2 milligram was $12. Now, there are several other drugs that contain estradiol and esterified estrogens and methyltestosterone and also medroxyprogesterone, and which are combination drugs, which also contributes to the price of them. Prempro for menopause, $101 a month for one box. Premarin, 30 days, $86 for the most part on each one of those strengths. Vaginal suppositories, $52. Premarin cream to help vaginal dryness is $190 for a 43-gram tube, which is not very good. It'll last you for a while, but pretty pricey. And then the S-Trace cream is also very pricey, $160. So, in the end, if you look at it, men and women are basically equivalent when it comes to these things. Women do require more hormonal-based medicines, so you take the esterified estrogens and all that, and you weight it against the erectile dysfunction drugs, and they're pretty equal, I would say. Yes, they are. The erectile dysfunction drugs are more at a time, but you don't tend to get that many at a time anyway, and as men get older, they don't tend to have as large of a sex drive as it is. So, you're really not looking at $800. You're looking at closer to $200 or $300 at a time for dispensing. Whereas women have to get their stuff usually every month after it runs out. So, I thought that was interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed that.